Okay, so today I wanted to talk about radical acceptance, specifically as parents, because so much of parenting is not what we planned for, or what we thought it would be, or what we were expecting at all. And radical acceptance can be just really critical, I think, in starting to deal with everything. So just what is radical acceptance? If you really don't know, I think we've all heard the term radical acceptance, but a lot of times I hear people uh, say, oh yeah, I know, I just need to accept it. I need to move on. I need to let it go. But that's not exactly what radical acceptance is. It's much, much deeper than that. And it's not just letting it go or forgetting about it. It's really like digging in to face things, deal with things, and accept them as they are. So, um, just very much in a nutshell, what radical acceptance is, it is a distress tolerance skill to stop pain turning into suffering. It doesn't change the facts, the circumstances of your life, but the difficult things that we're dealing with don't have to turn into suffering. They don't, or they don't have to, we don't have to stay suffering if we are. Um, we're just really reminding ourselves that reality cannot be changed. And your brain is probably going to fight this because you're going to want it to change. You're going to wish it was changed. You're going to wish you could go back in time and do things differently. But really continually reminding ourselves that reality cannot be changed is going to help us to deal with those difficult things. And this is accepting our whole self, mind, body, everything as is, exactly as it is. Um, and to really practice non-judgmental self-talk. We're going to do a whole nother mini workshop just on self-talk because it's hard and it's something I think a lot of us have to work on. Um, and in radical acceptance, again, it's not, oh, I'm going to forget about this, I'm going to let it go. It's that we're going to really, really dig in. So we're going to express those feelings, sadness, anger, grief. Like we talked about earlier today, negative feelings are not, doesn't mean we shouldn't have them. It is normal to have them. And when we can talk about it, write it down, cry, let it out, that's how we process instead of repressing it. Um, and another big part of it is focusing on what we can control. And this is going to help us to let go of what we cannot control and really be present to enjoy the good things in our life, even if it is not all perfect. Um, Focusing on what we can control, letting go of what we cannot, can be incredibly helpful to for us to be present and then enjoy parts of our life as much as we can. I do want to talk quickly about my own radical acceptance because it is something that I really was really, really helpful to me in a time where just everything in my life felt completely overwhelming and chaotic and unbearable, quite honestly. My own health, having stage 4 cancer, when my children were so little, and then my children having many, many, many diagnoses and being nonverbal and being autistic and pathological demand avoidance and sensory processing and motor delays. And I can't even remember them all, of course, off the top of my head, but it felt like there was no hope at all. I couldn't see things getting better. And um, I, I kept, yeah, like, oh, just wanting things to be different so badly, and it just kept me stuck. And when I really, really radically accepted everything that was happening, it just helped me um, to be able to really move forward where I had felt so stuck before. And I just really now looking back, as hard as so many things have been, I can say like that it's my life. I want it, all the pain, all the suffering, all the tears, all the mistakes, all I do, it's my life and I want it. And for whoever's listening, whatever is you're dealing with right now, today, right now, this is your life, and you don't have to fix it. You don't have to love it right now. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I promise you, you can enjoy your life, even if it is still fucked up. You can, and and this is kind of where it starts, I think. So I do have an exercise I would love for the group to do, and I know we don't have a lot of time left together today, so I do encourage you to work on this later at home as well, and to really write it down, um, because that writing it down just can help like get it out of your brain, help you process. There's a bunch of research on how it's super helpful also to to journal or to write down our feelings, but specifically for our radical acceptance exercise today, I would like you to write down, what do I hate or regret or fear about each of these things, about my body, my brain, my family, my children, my partner. And I would say, just the first thing off the top of your head, but you can spend time again, you can spend more time really digging into this, but it can be helpful again just to kind of go with that gut feeling of the first thing. Um, I am going to share my own examples, because I want to be open and honest and kind of show you how this works. So, things that right now I hate or regret or fear about my body, the cancer, my brain, RSD, rejection sensitivity dysphoria, which came up on our support group call today. So maybe that is another mini workshop we'll do just on that topic, because it's tremendously challenging. My family hurting each other, whether intended to or not. My children, uh, it's taken a long place to get here, but the only thing that I regret or hate or fear about my children is not having more. Truly. That wouldn't have always been my answer, but it is now. And my partner, well, that's complicated, but I'll just say the thing that I regret the most is that we didn't lean on each other when we needed each other the most. And then what do you do once you have these things, written down? Again, it's like we need to dig in, we need to think about them, we need to process them. So I would love for the group, or again, if you're watching this later and you want to follow along to do the exercise, choose one thing that you wrote down. This is something that cannot and will not change. And then I want you to say it out loud, to acknowledge it, to put it out there, to make it real. It can help so much to just get all the stuff that's caught in our head out. So it helps to talk about it. So I really do want you to say it out loud. And then dig into why. Why do you fear or regret or hate it? Because so often we feel we're like, I'm so stressed, but we don't dig into what specifically is causing the stress. And then if we don't ever examine that, how would we address it? Like, how would we get rid of it or fix it or deal with it? So it's important that we dig in. And I just also want to acknowledge that there are going to be constant challenges to doing radical acceptance. It's not, you don't just decide like, I'm going to radically accept everything and you're cool and you're at peace with it. It's hard. It's a continual effort. There's going to be so much pressure and unwanted advice, as parents specifically, right? Everybody wants to give you unhelpful advice. There's also just our own worries, our own anxieties. Many of us are neurodivergent as well. Many of us are dealing with our own anxiety. And so it is very hard to not worry about the future and what's going to happen and all of those things. They're our kids and we want them to be okay. And just like not us, not getting caught up in like these worst case scenarios of what could happen or what's going to happen or what might happen. And so next week, I want to talk about some Stoic practices that we can do to really work on the radical acceptance. Because even when we know that we need to be accepting things, that doesn't make it easy to do. Next week, I want to talk some more about like specific practices that we can do that will help with it. And lastly, as always, I just want to say that I'm proud of you all for being here today and just taking a little bit of time for yourself.
Carrie,